thanks for watching. I'm by myself today. Christian is doing something on his own today, but I just wanted to bring you a quick vlog because I have to drive for like an hour today. So I am going to stop on my way to get something, breakfast at Prairie, because I was so busy this morning I didn't get any breakfast. So I will cut this vlog and then I will continue it if I need to. But I wanted to put some things out there because they're really heavy in my heart. And I've been pondering some things in the last few weeks. Because I've been watching, well, I don't subscribe to cable or anything like that. I got rid of that because I really believe the Bible tells us that not to worry, to be so worried about the food that we put in our bodies as we are putting bad food into our brain. And we just talked about that last week. How Yahushua, Jesus, was talking about that. Like, why are the Pharisees so worried about the cleanliness of, what they eat or how they clean their hands, but they're not worried about the polluting ways in their mind. And a lot of us are polluting our minds constantly with news and social stuff. And it's just total brainwashing in the brain, you understand? So I have been on this journey in the last few weeks where I only watch YouTube at home, or I subscribe to this other channel called Peacock. I talked about it before. I think it's only $5 a month because I didn't like what was on Amazon and I really don't like Netflix. So I found this one and they had Yellowstone, so I started with that, watching that, and now I'm caught up. But then I started watching other shows on there. Some of them are not that great, but I'm on this binge watching Little House on the Prairie because I missed a lot of episodes when I was growing up and I really like the show, and there's so many, and I'm watching them one after another, so now I'm really getting to know the story and know the characters, and I'm just like in love with the family, the characters. I mean, I'm on season 4, I think it is, and I was like so shocked watching this show because he talked about God in this show so much, and there's so many lessons that we can take from this show that are family, godly lessons. I mean, it's just incredible, all the topics that they talk about in this show and how it used to be a part of our television broadcasting. And it was good because we would learn things from it. It was helpful for the kids, would learn lessons. They don't do that anymore. They don't have these kind of shows anymore. And the reason I'm talking to you about this is because now that Christian has come back and he's really a lot into music. And I've been watching some of the stuff that he watches, music videos. And I don't watch rap. I don't watch a lot of pop stuff. I don't even turn my radio on when I drive because I just like the silence and the quiet, and I like to think. And I know that the youth, they like to have all this noise going on all the time, and which is really not good for them. I tell him all the time, but man, the stuff that I have seen him watch lately, and I call it out. I mean, I tell him, I want him to be aware of the things that I see as a person who sees what's going on in society and how they're trying to make this culture war to change our world and change decency and make things evil and ugly. And I've seen like all of this stuff. By the way, I'm going to Panera to pick up my breakfast right now because it's on my way. So I will come back with you in 1 second to talk to you about the temple prostitutes. And hopefully I don't have anything in my teeth because I just made my breakfast. I got my coffee here. I'm on my way. When I went to the store to buy my breakfast, I left off on talking about the temple prostitutes. And I see it so clearly now. Like, look at this stuff. You're watching the stuff that kids are watching, the music videos. I mean, it's so degrading. It's so degrading. I'm really ashamed for a lot of these black women. And there's a lot of white women too that do it, but mostly, I don't know, maybe because he's watching me, they're like half naked. And you see them in these places, like there's always fire behind them. And they're doing these exotic dances, and man, children up to the altar to be sacrificed in the pagan ways of the pyramids. And that was pure evil back then, because they would give, these women would be drugged and they would be enticed to give their children over to Baal for worship. And then so they would have these ceremonies to make it exotic and, you know, sensual, and we're giving it to the god, and all of this stuff that they would do. So they would have these influencers, I call them. And isn't it the same thing now, where we have these influencers, our Hollywood stars, our influencers? They're trying to influence the culture and influence our children into dressing a certain way, talking a certain way, listening to things that are so explicit. I mean, now you have music that is explicit, and that's what the kids want to hear. They want to hear the explicit words. And I mean the words, I can't believe the things that I hear sometimes. And I say to him, really? I said, I don't want to hear this. If you want to hear this stuff, you need to put your earphones on. Because now he's 20, so he can choose this. And when he was younger, I would have never allowed this. But, I mean, they say the P word, you know, with the Y at the end, and they say the F word all the time. It's like they drop this bomb, and it's just horrible, the kind of culture that they're trying to make and the kind of vocabulary they're trying to change in our youth right now. And I'm not talking about just little children. I'm talking about kids like mine that are 20, 21, 22, 19. You know, they're overaged already, but they're still vulnerable to influence. A lot of children can be 18, but mentally they are not in that place mature-wise. Like my son was adopted, and I adopted him when he was 2.5. And my son didn't even speak. He didn't speak Romanian. I adopted him from Romania, but he didn't speak even Romanian. He started to blah blah when I picked him up, because he grew up in an orphanage, and a lot of these things affected him. Eventually, he had to go to foster care, but he still couldn't talk. So, you know, even his reading and math and everything, I have realized, even though he was in grade school, he was left behind in school because he's so behind. And that's okay, I get it, because it's not his fault what happened to him, right? But a lot of our kids have behavioral issues because they're pushing the kids almost to be more grown up than they're ready to be. And I'm seeing this in Little House on the Prairie, how these girls, I mean, at 16, you know, they're already engaged, but they're so responsible. It's incredible how responsible they were and how they knew the verses of the Bible, and they were decent, and they loved their families, and everybody got along, and they told the truth, and they felt convicted. I mean, these are the children of the past compared to the children of today, and the society that going to give you one. Lithium Orotate, I think it's called. It's a mineral that we lack. We lack actually a lot of minerals right now because our farming system doesn't farm the way it used to in the old days. So we are lacking minerals in our soil, and therefore we lack them also in our soil. Lithium Orotate is a mineral that is missing in breast milk. Some mothers either don't have it, and then that affects the brain of the child. So I've been reading things like this, so I'm just giving you like a quick thing. If you want to find out more about it, I will link a video down below of this guy who's talking a lot about it on YouTube, and I've been watching his videos. Very, very interesting. I've gone to Amazon to research some of this lithium orotate that he's talking about. Like, there's 3 different types of lithium. There's one that's damaging to the kidneys that people take in high doses, and they say that it works, but it's, you know, the outcome is that you're going to hurt your kidneys. So this lithium orotate is the one now that everybody says it doesn't damage, it doesn't do anything wrong. So that's the one that I'm turn to Christ, well, that's not part of their agenda, is it? And they don't want you to see the person who's turned to Christ and has a happier, peaceful, calming life, and turns away from those people that are coming purposely. Stay in the middle lane. For drama and things like that. And I've shown that where I have purposely done away with people in my life who have just come for drama and to make drama. I don't want people like that in my life. I'm picky now, and I'd rather have one good friend than have 20 bad friends. That is my life right now. I don't, they keep deleting subscribers. People don't get notifications. I don't care. What I care about is my happiness. And I enjoy to do these videos. I enjoy to do things. I have a lot of projects that I'm trying to do now that I'm not traveling. I love traveling. I miss traveling. But traveling right now is very expensive. Everything costs more, and everybody's hurting because of it. Because of the administration that is out there right now, and the corporations that have been pulling the strings to help this facade happen, right? So I really hope that you, if you're interested in really taking a proactive life in mental health, that you're doing your research and go out there and look for alternatives. There are alternatives. A lot of this mental health is not just now. It's been around for a while, and there's people that treated it back in the day. There's other things that people use. There's deficiencies in a lot of our bodies, and we have to make sure that our kids get the right nutrients, right? So growing your own is a great way to do it as well. A lot of people are turning to that right now because they realize that the systems that we have in place of trucking in our food and using all of this gasoline doesn't work. We should have more communities, local communities that are growing, and people becoming a part of these communities and growing together and becoming a part of something where they can all benefit and enjoy good health. So that is my vlog for today, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. God bless, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Hey, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.